So hello guys, welcome. This is Gmdss series part 2 video. So on Gmdss equipment, there are 4 types of tests which are done. First is daily, second is weekly, third is monthly, and then yearly. The yearly test is done by Shore. So in this video, we are going to see how to do daily test, then entries into Gmdss logbook, and lastly, what are the requirements for daily test. So let's start. So in daily test, we are going to check following things: MFHF, VHF, Gmdss batteries, printers, SATC, and Navtech station. So first I'll start with MFHF. So that's my MFHF equipment. So to do the daily test, here I have to press test button. Once I've pressed that, you can see there are two options, daily and self check. So I'll first do the daily test. I'll press enter. Once I've done this, it is going to take its own time to do the internal checks and verify everything is okay. Once everything is okay, it will be also printed on the MFHF printer. So now my test has passed and it has also printed out on my MFHF printer, which I will file it later on. So now again I'll press test, go to self check. I will do this self check also. Now please note that it is not necessary that all MFHF equipment will have printer. If they do not have printer, the records will be kept saved in MFHF equipment itself. So this my test is done. I'll click cancel. So my daily test is done. This is self check and this was daily test. I will print this out. So I will file it afterwards. Let's go and check the other test. So now VHF we will test. So there are two types of test for daily. First is this one. I'll press shift and test. So this is daily test. It has done its transmission, receiver, CPU, IC. All tests are done. Now there is another test on VHF where we have to send DSC message from VHF1 to VHF2 and vice versa. Now there are some people who do this test weekly basis and other who do this test on daily basis. I normally do this test on daily basis. Now to do this test, press call button, then press enter and select ship's call because we'll be sending to another VHF on ship. So that's ship's ID. The ship's ID is your ship's MMS ID. I will enter that, and then once everything is set, I will press enter, select the channel, press call, keep it pressed for 3 seconds as it says, and now you can wait. Now you can see on my other VHF that call has been received. I'll put cancel alarm and you can see there is an alert received from my first VHF. So that's how I'll do, press enter. Same thing I'll do on this VHF also. Press shift test, it will do its internal test. So my daily test is done. Enter, ship call. Enter 538003481. So this is my ship's ID, routine. Okay, so everything is set. Come over here, press call. Keep it pressed and it will send a message to my other VHF. Individual request. So this is the internal test for both. So we have done the daily test. Now other thing which we have to check in daily test is that if you have 2 printer or 3 printer depending upon your ship, all of your printer must be online. As you can see, printer power is on, it is online. Printer power is on, it is online. Online means if some message comes, it will be directly printed into the printer. Second thing is the quantity of paper. That paper, sufficient amount of paper is there on both the printers. So that's what we write in the Gmdss logbook also. All my printers are online and all of them are having sufficient papers. So this must be checked. After checking this, in SATC there is nothing daily test, but just what you have to check is your Indian Ocean region. Basically your network coordination center is selected, any ocean region is selected, and your satellite is logged in. It is not logged out. There is no alarm or error on the SATC. This is what you just have to check daily. So Now my satellite is selected, Indian Ocean region. I am presently over here in Mediterranean Sea. So this is my satellite, IOR. That's my satellite. So it has selected that satellite. Next thing, what you have to check is, in Navtex there is no test, but you just have to check that whether you have selected the right Navtex station. Go to Navtex. So same thing, your ship specific Navtex might have a different setting. So here I'm just checking receiver mask, press enter. So this is the station I have selected. So I will write it down in my Gmdss logo also which station I have selected. So you must check that daily that the right station is selected. This is there. And lastly, what we have to check is Gmdss battery on-load and off-load test. So as you can see presently over here, my battery charging is on auto. My Gmdss battery are being charged automatically. So normally below your Gmdss station, you will have your battery charging buttons. So I will keep it open. So before doing the test, first check what is your voltage. So now as you can see that my voltage is 25 volts. So this is offload. Offload means when my battery is not on load. Okay, that's the supply is directly coming from ship supply. So that is 25 volts. Now this is switch off breaker to take Gmdss station on battery load. I will switch it off. You can see there is a sound coming. In use means the battery is being in used. I will put buzzer stop. So as you can see, suddenly when I switch from main supply to battery supply, my voltage has dropped. So once our Gmdss batteries are on load, then what we have to do is we have to switch to SSB mode on our MFHF equipment. That is radio telephony mode on our MFHF equipment. Once we are on SSB mode, what I will do is I'll press this PTT and I'll make a transmission. Basically what we are doing is we are doing a transmission. So I'm pressing this, I'm making a transmission, and you can see the voltage is dropping. Here you can see before it was 25, now it is 24 volt. So basically the requirement is your battery the voltage shall not drop more than 10%. So if it is 25, before it was 25, so it should not fall more than 2.5. If it would have fallen below 22.5, then it would have been failed. So depending on offload, how much is your battery percentage, it shall not fall more than 10%. So it is 24, it is good. Now I will switch it back to my ship supply. So my ship supply is being used. My battery, this light is off. That's it. And now you can see once I've switched to ship supply, my voltage is coming back normally to 25. And you can see it will be on 25. So this is what is my daily test. That's it. Then I'll make an entry in my Gmdss logbook for daily test. Now there are two types. Basically, if you print over here, some people would like to file in the records. As you can see, there is a Gmdss record. Some people would like to file the records in this, your daily. You can see they have made daily section. So whatever test they are doing it daily, they are filing it over here. Monthly also they are filing inside the file. And same thing, distress, urgency, safety message, 6 monthly. So whatever test they are doing, they are filing it in the Gmdss record. So it depends upon it's a personal choice. What I would personally believe is to file the records inside my Gmdss logbook, my daily, monthly, weekly, whatever it is. I normally file it within the Gmdss record. I do not file on a separate log or a separate file. So this is my daily test. I will tear this out, put a stapler over here and staple it with this page. That's it. So just to show you that I am not stapling both the pages, there are two pages. I'm just stapling it with the carbon page. So this is my carbon page. Make sure you staple with your carbon page. So I will write down over here MFHF daily test and sign over here. That's it. As I told earlier that All MFHF equipments do not have printer. So if your equipment have a printer, you will have this. Otherwise, some equipments you don't have a printer. Now this is my daily entry over here. You can write down the UTC time, what time you have done this. 0710 station. Here write daily test. So here I have done the record that when my Gmdss batteries were on load, that time it was 24 volts, and when it was off load, I have mentioned 25 volts. So Gmdss battery is done. MFHF, both VHF, internal test done. Internal test means without transmitting the power outside. So this is what internal test means. Internal test done. Then all Gmdss printer online. Sufficient paper in all Gmdss printer. As I was showing you earlier, my satellite was SATC was using Indian Ocean region satellite. My Navtex station, I will write over here Navtex. L was selected. If any other station is selected, you can write that. In which nav area you are in. Nav area 3. So this all things must be also written. And one more thing is your position. At what position? So I will write down my latitude and longitude over here only from my GPS. So that's it. Once you are done with your test, always make sure to sign in the end. So the next thing is we are going to talk about the requirements. So you can see this is the screenshot from Sire. Now this is what they want you to write in your Gmdss logbook, but this is not sufficient. So if you'll refer to your Gmdss logbook, this is the most commonly used logbook for Gmdss. In this they have mentioned what are tests you must do daily. You can check over here DSC test, batteries must be checked and printers must be checked, but this is also not sufficient. So I have found out in this logbook, this is a new logbook which I have found out. In this they have mentioned in much more detail, I would believe. So I'm doing this test as per this logbook and making entry as per this logbook. So you can take this screenshot as you like. That's all for today. Thank you.